Good morning, TGIF. Hello, my friends. It's Erica from Rhode Island, and you are tuned in to the Child Care Director's Chair podcast. I'm so happy you're here today. And one of the things I found out the other day, which I thought was so interesting, is I thought only child care directors listen to my podcast. But it turns out there are lots of lead teachers who also listen to my show. And I think, wow, that is so cool. So I wanted to talk a little bit today about something that I thought would help both our lead teachers and our directors. We're going to talk about climbing together and what a great director and lead teacher partnership looks like. You know, leadership in early childhood education isn't a solo hike. It's a team climb. In today's episode, we're going to explore what it looks like when directors and lead teachers work together as partners, not just in title, but in trust, communication, and shared vision. Whether your relationship with your director is solid or still a work in progress, this conversation will help you understand how to build a stronger, more collaborative and dynamic relationship, one that lifts your entire team. So let's talk about the first thing, why partnerships even matter. Well, relationships between a director and a lead teacher set the tone for the entire center. You know, a strong partnership doesn't mean agreeing on everything. It means respect. It means communication and a shared mission. You're not just managing a classroom. As a lead teacher, you are co-steering the culture. And I need people to understand that it isn't just one person that makes your school culture. Think about this for a second. What's one thing that you value about your director's leadership style? And let them know about it. But really take the time to think about what is it that makes your director who they are, why you like working for them. And then I also want you to think, maybe what's one thing you wish was different? And I want you to share that with them too. Now, I know you might be thinking, are you crazy? I'm not sharing that with my boss. And sometimes the director is the owner. But, you know, I feel like really professional leaders really appreciate feedback, honest feedback. You know, keep in mind they're human. So, you know, you want to maybe sandwich some things. Don't just come at them with a list of 80 things that you think they don't do correct. You know, make sure that you also are very intuitive to what it is that you love working for them, and share that as well. You know, a healthy director and lead teacher dynamic looks like this. It's like we're climbing together. And in real life, it looks like mutual trust. You feel safe to bring concerns or ideas to your director. And your director trusts you to lead a classroom with integrity. So open communication would include regular updates, not last-minute surprises. Now, I have to say, I've been guilty of it because I am such a big picture girl. And sometimes I get really excited about things, especially you guys know, after you go to a conference and you're like, oh my God, I have all these great ideas that I want to spring on you, right? So just think about that if you're the director, to make sure that you're really helping your teachers understand and buy in to your shared vision. See, when you're aligned with your goals, whether it's improving transitions or shifting curriculum, it's important that they understand where you want to take the program. And you also have to respect each other. You both have to understand the weight of each other's job and avoid micromanaging or isolation. And I think that's so important. You know, a real example could include when a director checks in weekly and says, what do you need from me this week? And it shows that you're in it together. You know, so often as directors, we might go to our teachers and say, I need this, I need that. Can you do this? You know, Johnny's mom isn't happy. You need 10 more pictures in the app. Sorry. And I know you're probably laughing because you know it's true, right? We do that. So make sure that you ask them to, what do you need from me? How can I make your job easier? Now there's going to be some friction points. So let's think about how can you fix them. So lack of communication is something that happens you hear it across the board. So maybe you could try something like this. I want to support this change well. Can you loop me in earlier next time so I can prepare my team? So again, if you're a lead teacher and your director is giving you things that, need to change in the program, instead of finding out at the team meeting with everyone else, maybe, as a director, you let your lead teachers know ahead of time before you roll it out at the meeting. Get their thoughts and perspectives. And ask about, when you're asking what do you need from me, you have to realize that we all have different priorities. So asking each other, what are you juggling right now? And how can I help take something off your plate? Or feeling appreciated with something like, I've been doing this for a long time and I'm proud of blank. I love this for us, and share it with the team. So, sharing those small wins are really important. And as lead teachers, I think it's important that you communicate the things and the places that you feel your team is winning. Now, you might say, what if you have a strained relationship? Well, you could also schedule some short monthly one-on-ones. Even 15 minutes can really change the tone. And remember to use I statements when giving feedback. Here's an example that if you're a lead teacher that you can use with your supervisor. I feel a little in the dark when I find out things from other teachers. Can we touch base more regularly? Or for a director, you could show appreciation. Like, I know this week was a lot for all of us. Thank you for showing up even in the hard moments. And that, for me, this week was my team. And we had some staff that were out sick and or their kids were sick. And some other folks really pulled it up. And some stayed late. Some came in earlier. Some were a little more flexible with their schedule. So, just saying that and acknowledging that it's a tough week. Don't just act like, well, it's our job and you have to come in and do it, right? Acknowledge that it was tough. Let them know that they're rock stars and you appreciate them. Another thing you could do as a lead teacher, if you feel that you're not in the loop or you feel your relationship is a little strained, you could maybe start a conversation with, would you be open to brainstorming a new approach to staff communicate together? So maybe you do it together. It's a new approach, and the two of you, the director and the lead teachers or the ed coordinators, roll it out to the team together. I think that makes a big difference. So here's the other part, guys. What directors wish lead teachers would know, and vice versa. So from directors, they want you to really know, I'm making all the hard calls alone. I want the lead teachers to bring problems, but also ideas. I think that that's something that directors really want you to know, lead teachers. I also notice the leaders who speak up with purpose, not just to vent. So are you at that meeting when you're a lead teacher, are you just venting or are you speaking because there's a purpose behind it and that purpose is to help move the program forward? Lead teachers, here's what they want directors to know. We want to be part of a bigger picture. We need more context to carry out your vision because a little statement on a piece of paper is not enough. They also want you to know, directors, that recognition and trust go a long way. So in my closing statements, here are 5 ways I want to leave with you to build your partnership starting this week. Start the conversation with, what's one thing I could do to support you better right now? Also, teachers, ask for clarity. What's the goal behind this decision? So that's really going to help you when your director comes to you and says, we need to change some things. Understanding the goal will really help you. Also, both sides, please don't forget to share solutions, not just problems. And please celebrate those wins together, both privately and publicly. And keep showing up, even if it's awkward at first. Having those hard conversations is hard, but we have to have them. So I hope that those 5 tips really give you something to think about. Lead teachers, Remember, the word lead is in front of your title for a reason. You are the backbone of the program. Directors need you to help spread the vision to the rest of the group. If this episode resonated with you, don't climb alone. Join our community today. Hop on over to the childcaredirectorschair.com and sign up for our monthly newsletter. We're going to be launching them on June 1st. I'm so excited about what's ahead. And trust me, you don't want to miss it. We're going to have group coaching calls, online and in-person workshops, exclusive tools and resources just for early childhood leaders like you. The best is just starting. We're ready to get going, and we want you to be in the room. So let's grow, let's lead, let's climb together. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Child Care Directors Chair podcast. I hope you have a great day.